Sir, we are on live now. You can start your proceedings, please.
The quorum being present through video conference, the meeting commences now. Mrs. Bhavya Chandran will introduce other directors.
Good morning, everybody. I am attending the meeting from my corporate office of the company at Coimbatore. I welcome all the members to the 35th AGM of the company. I take great pleasure in introducing the directors of the company, while the CMD and Mrs. Vidya Jyotish and our chartered accountant Shri K.N. Ravichandran are with me at the corporate office of the company. The other directors who are present in this meeting through video conferencing facility are Dr. K. Venkatachalam, Shri E.M. Nagasivam, and Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Narendra. Apart from them, Shri B. Krishnamurthy, Chartered Accountant, and Mrs. V. Indra, Chartered Accountant, partners of S. Krishnamurthy and Co. Chartered Accountants, statutory auditors, Shri Radheshyam Padya, Company Secretary, and other panelists are also participating in this meeting from their respective locations. Over to Director, Mrs. Vidya Jyotish. Good morning, everyone. I am Vidya Jyotish, Director of the company, participating in this meeting from the corporate office of the company at Coimbatore. I have great pleasure in welcoming the shareholders, CMD, directors, auditors, scrutinizer, and registrar to the 35th AGM of Ambika Cotton Mills Limited, being held through video conferencing in accordance with the respective circulars of MCA and SEBI. The facilities of joining the AGM through video conference is being made available for the members. The directors, auditors, and other panelists are participating in the meeting from their respective locations. Members may note that the company has provided remote e-voting facilities to the members to cast their votes in respect of all resolutions as set out in the AGM notice through remote e-voting system administered by CDSL from 9 a.m. 26 September 2023 to 5 p.m. 28 September 2023. For those members who are present in the meeting and who have not cast their votes so far, the facility for remote e-voting is also provided. The e-voting platform is now open and you may cast your vote while watching the proceedings of the meeting. Shri B. Tangamuthu, CA, has been appointed as the scrutinizer for scrutinizing the e-voting process and for ascertaining the requisite majority. As the AGM is being held through video conferencing and the resolution set out in the notice of the AGM has already been put out to vote through remote e-voting, there will be no proposing and seconding of resolutions. There is no voting by show of hands at this AGM. As there is no physical attendance of the members, appointing proxies is not applicable. Registers for inspection by members during the AGM, as required under the Companies Act 2013, has been made available. Members who seek to inspect may send their request to the company's mail ID ambika@acmills.in. Since the notice of the AGM, along with the audited financial statements and director's report has already been circulated to the members, the same is taken as read. As there are no qualification or comments in statutory auditor's report and secretarial report, the same is taken as read. Summary of resolution set out in the notice of the AGM. To receive, consider, and adopt the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31 March 2023, comprising of balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, and cash flow statement for the year ended on that date, and reports of directors and auditors thereon. To declare a final dividend of rupees 35 per equity share for financial year 2022-23. To appoint a director in the place of Mrs. Bhavya Chandran, DIN 020-80649, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers herself for reappointment. To ratify and confirm the remuneration of cost auditors for financial year 2023-24. The text of resolutions along with explanatory statement has already been circulated. refer to instructions provided in the notice of the AGM for participation and voting during the meeting. The proceedings of the meeting are recorded and will be posted on the website of the company. Now, Director Mrs. Bhavya Chandran will read the chairman's statement.
Thank you, Vidya. I am going ahead with the chairman's statement, which are exactly his words. I'm holding the paper, so I do not dilute the statements. Dear shareholder, I am happy to welcome you all to the 35th AGM of the company. The director's report and accounts are with you for quite some time, and I'm happy to draw your attention that the company has made further progress in fiscal 2020-23. The total income amounted to rupees 861.35 crores as against the previous year total income of rupees 925.48 crores, representing a decline of 6.93% as against a growth of 46.04% in the previous year. The gross profit amounted to rupees 182.29 crores as compared to rupees 273.38 crores of the previous fiscal. This represents decline of 33.32% in gross profit as against a growth of 129.10% in the previous year. The export turnover in fiscal 2023 amounted to rupees 598.02 crores as against rupees 626.51 crores of fiscal 2022, representing a decline of 4.55% as against a growth of 41.08%. The export turnover constituted 73.20% of the net sales as against 71.25% of the previous fiscal. In the first quarter ended 30th June 2023 of the current year, the company has made a total sales turnover of rupees 216.41 crores, of which export constituted rupees 165.48 crores. The net profit for the period stood at rupees 20.75 crores and cash profit at rupees 27.51 crores. Financial year 2022 is an exceptional year of performance, and it would be prudent to compare the performance taking into account financial year 2020-21 as a base year on account of the fact that we have moved from rupees 600 crores base income to a higher level of rupees 800 to 900 crore base. Accordingly, we arrive at growth of 35.99% in total income and 50.02% in gross profit. The aforesaid performance have to be viewed in the context of geopolitical situation that has largely contributed to the demand slowdown in cotton yarn and cotton fabrics. The company's track record of product innovation, consistency in quality, and timely delivery of committed orders has substantially contributed to repeated orders and its overall financial performance. The strong financial fundamentals and business innovations and consistency have largely contributed to the sustained financial performance despite demand slowdown for cotton yarn, which is expected to turn around during the current year. We are unique in our operations. The quality is a backbone of our operations. We are very few to first automate with auto-boners, considered to be very high cost investment at that point of time. Later embraced the compact technology in making yarn, again at a high cost proposition. These investments were considered very risky. Later, even before the renewable energy became the buzz, opted to go for windmills for captive purposes. We selected to operate in markets which are most rewarding and sweated our assets profitably. We always look for opportunities and seize it. The present demand slowdown is on account of geopolitical situation, would improve or would become a non-event. The cost under the SOFR regime is high at 6% as against the 1% under LIBOR. The EB has hiked the charges under various heads even without use of power. Those who have expanded are into capital crunch, trying various measures to outcome. We remain liquid and continue to be so in the long-term interest of the stakeholders. Markets move here and there, but finally, rewards to those who follow fundamentals. The solvency and sustainability are the mantras with which we would continue to operate. The solar power on completion would generate 13 million units for captive. The total captive production, including wind, would be 60.30 million units as against the present consumption of 78 million units. Thus, 77% of the total power requirement would be met through renewable resources. In the current year, 2022-23, we have carried out several CSR activities as mandated, which are need-based and would provide the necessary impetus in those areas where we have spent. I hope that all matters would appreciate the consistent performance of the company and the overall growth achieved. I now request Dr. K. Venkatachalam, Director to share his view on green energy and associated legal issues.
Thanks for the opportunity provided to me. I congratulate the chairman and the other directors of the company. At this very critical scenario of the falling down of demands all over the world and the demand crisis what every industry is meeting out, really Ambika has done its best. Even though it is not by figures, it couldn't be compared with the last year's or year before's performance. But among the balance sheets, what we could see from all other companies, performance of Ambika still remains to be the best among the similarly placed companies throughout India. So apart from the financial aspect of the company, for the company, it is not anyway related to the financial impacts that is being made in the balance sheets and all. Because the geopolitical reasons, as mentioned by our director, that is playing an important role. Even I too traveled throughout the Europe and Italy sometime in June 2023. And I could see the people who are there, the natives of Europe and Italy, their affordability to spend on textiles is nil, almost nil. Their priority goes for the food items first. Secondly, for their fuels, for the transfer of residents to place of work and coming back to the residents. And the last but not the least, that the power cost, what they are paying for warming up their houses and all. That was the time the summer was just entering. So spending on all those three important and vital items, the left out money for spending it over the textiles was almost nil. And I inquired with some of the hypermarkets there, and they are telling that this is because of the Russian-Ukraine war that is unprecedentedly going on for almost 2 years. So for such kind of geopolitical issues, as mentioned of the report also, Indian industries, more particularly the textile sector, has fallen as a victim on it. But things may change. We hopefully wait for the changes to happen, because there are many issues that India is going to set right in the coming years. So those efforts are yielding results. Definitely, again, the same achievement what we have seen in 2022 or 2021, that will be totally taken to the new achievements and new performance. So we have to wait for this situation. And the move of the company to move towards a full package of rooftop solar on the roofs of the entire factory buildings of the company, that is a very welcoming move, because the power cost has, in the recent 2022, there was an increase on 10th September. Again, they have increased it to on 1st July of 2023. So this has made the conversion cost of fiber to yarn to a maximum extent, and by the installation of solar PV cells over the roof and by generation of close to 30 million units, this will definitely reduce our conversion cost, and accordingly we would be made competitive as far as the other companies are concerned, which are low solar power reliance or otherwise not at all having any solar power. This is a right decision taken at a right point of time, because the power utility in Tamil Nadu is proposing to increase the power cost on every year on a pro rata basis, not exceeding 6%. So the power increase what we have seen in 22 and what we are now experiencing in 23, this will happen in 24, 25, 26, like that year after year. So once we go for a captive power, naturally by paying a small money, maybe 1 rupee per unit, we can get the entire power for the requirement, and almost around 70% of the power needs of the Ambika Cotton Mills Limited will be completely through their own captive sources, either it is wind or solar, whatever may be. So that will definitely play a vital role in deciding the final price of yarn in making conversion from cotton and all. So this is the situation prevailing in everywhere in the world, not only in Ambika, but wherever we go. Being an advisor for around 900 spinning mills in Tamil Nadu, I have been used to receive visitors for the betterment of the industry every now and then, every 2 or 3 meetings a day to discuss about the issues and all. But in recent days, mills management are coming to me and seeking advices as how to go out of the mills by closing down the mills and how to exit out of the company and all. This is a very sorry state of affairs. So I have not seen such a situation for the past 40, 45 years. But anyhow, things will change. But when it is getting changed, it is the question. Those companies or those mills which are not having enough financial background, they have to take a call at least to save their reserves and how to come out of it. So once the war situation is getting a ceasefire, definitely the market will immediately jump. Within around 30 days to 45 days, the market will go up to a new peak. That will be only a myth. But on that market increase, the companies would not be in a hurry to go for any expansion and all, because our calculations say whatever spindles are installed in India is sufficient. And any expansion, I am not mentioning about the modernization, any expansion of spindles and any expanded production will definitely again pull back our growth and all. So with the present level of the spindles close to some 1,20,000 spindles in Ambika, with the added advantage of knitting facility and all, it's perfectly all right. We can think about going for expansion in line with increasing our knitting capacity either to the full or to the maximum extent with the power cost and all compensated by our green energy projects. The company is doing well still today. There may be a small fall when compared to the results of the company when compared to last year's performance. But only equals have to be compared. Unequals cannot be compared. The set of performance seen during last year and this year cannot be compared because the situations are completely changed and many companies are facing acute losses and even they are thinking of closing down their operations and many assets are being sold out under distressed conditions. In spite of our efforts to address all these issues with the government and all, still the government is not able to understand what exactly the spinning mills are facing in their day-to-day operations. One side, the duty imposed on the import of cotton, and of course, it is not directly making an impact to Ambika because Ambika is importing cotton under advance authorization license scheme. So naturally, every cotton imported is again getting back exported to countries that without any payment of duty or a minimal duty. So, but other spinning mills which are not having that much export potential, So they have to be very careful in sourcing the cotton and all. 11% duty alone, it is high, and the market price of the cotton, imported cotton, is also 5 to 7% higher than the Indian cotton. You have to thank the environment. Last year, that is 2023 entirely, the cotton was not showing any high fluctuations as it was seen in 21-22. It went up to 1.25 lakhs per bale, and again it has fallen down. So last year that fluctuation was not too much. It was almost prevailing between 58,000 rupees to 62,000 rupees on spot. So this is what we could see also nowadays. The arrivals of new crop has started. So this is the time the company will focus on procuring the cotton for its required operations in the coming years. So it is being traded at the 62,000 or otherwise 61,000, 60,000 plus or minus, in that range it is going. We don't expect any sudden surge in cotton prices and all. These added backgrounds, and Ambika is equivalently providing importance to all CSR activities, and recently they have done a big job at a nearby primary health center there, nearer to the mills, and it will be a great help and assistance for all the local people who have been coming for Ambika's work, or otherwise their families are getting inside the expanded activities that Ambika is provided at a very high cost. So the corporate social responsibility part of it, I think that Ambika is not second to anyone. It is always providing all support to the local community, and all the labor management areas also. Ambika, last week the minimum wages Tamil Nadu committee has visited Ambika Cotton Mills Limited. I am a member in the committee also. I also joined with the committee. They expressed the fullest satisfaction the way labor administration was being carried on there. So this shows how Ambika is in all its spheres, it is maintaining the perfection. Leave alone the global market situation. Whatever it could do, it is doing the best manner it could be possible, and it is making its social responsibilities also completely fulfilled with. With these few words, I think that I can leave back the mic to other directors who are ready to use. I am also available till the end of the meeting for any doubt, for any query that is being raised. I am pleased to give my answers to the extent of my knowledge and my experience. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for the CMD having accommodated my speech also in the AGM. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, KV sir, for your very kind words. Now, we will take questions from the shareholders. So the shareholders who have already registered to speak will be allowed to speak. Members are requested to keep the questions brief and specific. We shall facilitate the questions on video feature, and to avoid repetition, the answers for all the questions will be provided in the end. Now, the members may know that the company reserves right to limit the number of members asking the questions, and in order to save time. So these questions were also already received by email, which will again be summarized and spoken. Now, I request Mr. Karthik of CDSL to permit each speaker in as I call out their name. The first on my list is Mr. Kanwar Sani.
Mr. Kanwar is available, madam. Mr. Kanwar, you can unmute and speak. Mr. Kanwar, you can unmute and speak.
We shall recall him later once he's available. I'm going over to the next person, Mr. Himanshu Upadhyay. Mr. Himanshu Upadhyay.
Mr. Himanshu, you can speak now.
Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, and thanks for giving me an opportunity to speak. I have sent a list of questions, which I hope to hear the replies. And I also thank the management for giving a detailed outlook on the macros we are facing and the challenges which are there in the company. Okay, and it was very helpful. The one thing which I like to add on is, see, we don't want any clarity on what you will produce, how much you produce. Those are not the things what we are looking for. Okay, when we are asking questions, what we really want to understand is what are the how to look at and understand this business. What are the longer term opportunities you are looking at, and what are the modes in the business what you have made. Okay, so something like I would say that when we say we are driving quality and which is uh, very important for the customers. Okay, but if you can elaborate what you are doing, like initially we stated that we spent some money on some capital good which was much in advance. Okay, but that is a copyable thing what others can also do. What cannot be copied is the culture, your relationships, your foresightedness, and how are you inculcating those things in the organization. Okay, the focus on cost, the focus on quality, the culture of prudence. So these are the things which will help us be a longer term investor, continue to be a longer term investor in the company. Okay. Uh, so with that in thoughts, if you can give replies to the questions which have been already given, I'll be very thankful. And yeah, best of luck for the future. I hope we keep on doing the good work what we have been doing. I really appreciate the company and the way it has been operating. Thanks from my side.
Thank you, Mr. Himanshu. We have received your questions. In fact, all the questions were taken and largely categorized. In order to avoid repetitiveness, we've largely categorized it into a few topics, which will be later dealt with both by the CMD and myself. So the answers will be given in the end. The next speaker I would like to call is Mr. G.R. Balaji.
Hi, good afternoon to the entire management team. So I have already made the questions. So if the management is replying to each and every question, it will be helpful. Yeah. That's it, my
Yes,
side.
we have received your questions. Thank you. As mentioned, it will be answered in the end. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next speaker is Ms. Meenal Bhang.
Mr. Minal Bank, you can speak.
Okay. Mr. Meenal Bhang, thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah, hi,
yes.
thanks for the opportunity. This is Varun Bang. I am speaking on behalf of Meenal. I really appreciate the way our company has been managed, and I too have submitted my list of questions. So you want me to repeat them or you have them?
No, no, no. We have all the questions that has already come has been largely categorized into various topics and it will be dealt with in a consolidated manner. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you very much.
The next is Mr. Pratyush Mittal.
Mr. Pratyush, you can unmute and speak.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Board of Directors and other shareholders. I have also sent in my list of questions. If we can answer them, and that would be great.
Yes, yes. We have the list right here with us. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Anuj Sharma.
Mr. Anuj, you can speak now.
Yeah, thank you so much, and congratulations to the management. And as said by earlier speakers, appreciate the way you have conducted the business till now. Again, I have also sent in my list of questions, and the objective here is to understand the business rather than any numbers for next year or next, but how we are building this company and how this company has been institutionalized. So we understand, Mr. Chandran, from you that a lot of initiatives and business, but how does this become more institutionalized and the segments where we operate? I look forward to the answers and thank you for all this.
Thank you, Mr. Anuj. Yes, it's well noted and it will be addressed. The next is Mr. Keshav Garg.
Sir, thank you very much for providing me this opportunity. Sir, I have also sent my list of questions. Sir, only a few questions I want to highlight, sir, on this 8.33 megawatt rooftop solar power projects worth 39 crores. So what is the IRR that you are expecting? Sir, why our fabric sales are falling from 90 lakh kgs in FY19 to 70 lakh kgs in FY22 to 41 lakh kgs in FY23? Sir, our inventory has reached all-time high of 400 crore in FY23, and sir, now cotton prices are going down. So is any inventory loss expected on this front? And sir, lastly, sir, every year we come for the AGM, and every year our respected chairman tells us that how undervalued the share price is, and sir, we totally agree with you. But sir, we are not disappointed with the performance of the company, sir, considering the macro scenario. So, but what is in the hand of the management, at least we should do that. Sir, every AGM we ask for a share buyback because share is undervalued. Sir, if the share is not undervalued, then buyback makes no sense. But if the share is undervalued, it's an opportunity for the company to buy back the shares and extinguish the shares so that the earning per share can go up. Sir, now there are two ways, sir. Either the company can expand the capacity number of spindles. So, but since there is overcapacity, it makes no sense. So the other way is to decrease the number of shares so that the number of spindles per share can increase. So buyback is just the reverse of IPO. And since company has now a huge cash surplus of 277 crore despite all-time high inventory, which I believe in future will go down and our cash balance will swell even further. Sir, and we are totally sure that you intend to use the cash proceeds in the benefit of your shareholders. So please consider a share buyback. So that is all that I want to share. So again, thank you very much and best of luck to you and your team.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Keshav. So the last speaker is Mr. Madhur Rati.
Madhu has joined, madam. Give us a second.
Mr. Madhur Rati. Okay. So
Madam, it seems we couldn't connect actually. So we can
yes,
move to
but
the speaker, madam.
we have received all the questions and consolidated it largely. The chairman will address to most of the questions. I have also put forth a few answers, so I can give a few answers. Now, see, generally the topic is, after the Russia-Ukraine war, see, not only spinning mills in India, but also in countries like Thailand, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Turkey have all seen the downsides, and most of the MSME mills are not functioning fully, especially in South India. So some have even sadly closed down, but Ambika has been continuously functioning. See, the general scene, as mentioned before, has to be viewed in such backdrop. So the markets are subdued at the moment due to these reasons, these geopolitical reasons, but this is not going to be the situation always. We see it's going to improve in some time. There were a few questions regarding the cotton and the cotton yarn, and we would like to say these are entirely different segments and they are based on various counts and various parameters, which, depends on what the customer needs. Now, the mills that regarding expansion, the mills that went for spindles expansion, they are losing price power with the buyers. See, we shall expand as per the requirement. And also about knitting, we have been upgrading ourselves continuously based on the market requirements and the profitability, we have been upgrading ourselves technologically. And our main mantra is solvency and sustainability. So our main focus is value addition to the product and to create a niche product. Our focus more than improving the spindles is more on this. There were also questions regarding large closing stock last year. See, this is because we were holding on to the goods. We were not giving in to the buyers based on the price that they were asking just because the markets were low. So when most of the mills were succumbing to the buyer's point of pricing, we have always stuck to the price. So what was the scene then has, we have stuck to our prices and we have eventually been continuously selling at our price with sufficient profit. So generally from the onset, we never had like a master plan, like because market conditions will never be fixed. We will sail with the market, and we have always seen that the company is strong. One thing that we always stuck to is the quality of yarn. That has always been primary, and we've not gone back in our commitments. And we have been expanding as per the requirements, and this will constantly be adapted by the company. And since just because we have liquidity right now, we don't want to jump into expansion and lose the pricing power, because I think that holds important. Our motto is to be cash rich, and we want to be the top supplier of cotton yarns to brands and have no external financial dependency. So there was also some question regarding the number of employees. What you see on the books is who have stayed for 12 months for the purpose of statistical calculation. We have about 3,000 employees working with our company. Right now, I would like the chairman to address most of the answers to the questions.
Thank you. Hearty welcome to the shareholders to the 35th AGM of Ambika Cotton Mills Limited. After the buoyant year 21-22, the textile industry is subdued for the consecutive year 22-23, and it continues. The reasons for the same is multiple. Earlier, we thought that Russia-Ukraine war is happening somewhere in the Eastern Europe, and they are not connected with the textiles, and that will not impact our business. But cascading effect of these fight had happened in Europe as well as the small countries, our neighboring countries, where we are sourcing mainly, we are selling the yarn mainly for the need of the brands. The brands got high presence in these countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Turkey, and Egypt. So it is necessary for us to depend on the countries. Here the problem comes, the bankers. Bankers are apprehensive of discounting the bills, and they were very requesting us. We cannot give funds to these countries when you are exporting. So this is the problem we are facing right now with our bulk reserves in the bank, deposits. We are able to sustain with the banks. We are holding our banks that we are having sufficient funds. You can take guarantee of that. And many bills are having an entry barrier to these countries. But it is an opportunity for us because we have sufficient deposits. So the problem we are seeing is that all these countries the brands always look at these countries. That is Sri Lanka, Egypt, Turkey, and Bangladesh, because of the cheap and affordable labor they are getting and the infrastructure they create. So it is important for us also. So this is why the one thing for the export we are doing on this particular country. Second, if we look at the balance sheet, last year the interest has gone up. Earlier we were in the regime of LIBOR and we were getting interest at less than 1%. Now after the moving it to SOFR, the interest regime remained at 6%. So this hike in the interest rate has really suffered little on the working of the company. Second is the charges that happened in the transit. They have charged nearly 8.5 to 9 for the entire. Last year we suffered nearly 8.5 to 9 crore on the electricity bills. To mitigate this problem, what we have done, we have installed 8.33 megawatt of wind power, solar power in the rooftop of the mills, which is cost of 40 crores. And IRR, we are expecting 11.5 crore in the year. This will start commencing from January onwards. This will mitigate the power hike what we have suffered last year, 8.5 crore. Secondly, the total power requirement for Ambika is nearly 78 million units, out of which through wind power we are getting 47.3 megawatt. And this is after the adjustment they are doing in the
The
banking and wheeling charges, transmission charges. So we get nearly 47.3 megawatt. And 13 megawatt we are expecting. 13 million units we are expecting from the 8.33 solar power we are going to install in the rooftop of our windmills, our mills. So totally we will take the total nearly 60.3 megawatt will be million. 60.3 million units will be we are taking against the total requirement of 78 million. So there will be a shortfall only for 18 million units. So
About
all the wind power,
22%.
all this is coming under the renewable energy, green power. So we are moving in that direction to reduce all the power cost and making future plans to make 100% our capacity in the wind, solar and wind power. Secondly, the interest charge we are suffering, we are taking effective steps to reduce the interest cost. We have cotton right now in the godown, and the questions were asked the stocks we were keeping in the mill. As explained in the reply, we will sell only at profit. We will not succumb to the buyer's pressure and lose price power. This is very important. We will always sell our quality to the highest price in India, and even for foreign, we have the highest name in that quality way. The quality what we are producing is super number one, and we are the front runner in the quality. So thanks to our employees and our technicians, the unsung heroes make this quality and keeping the company proud ahead of others. So we are not seeing the dullness going to continue forever. From December onwards, we see a lot of changes in the textile because most of the mills, MSME sector has closed down the industry in the domestic. And there is a pipeline is empty. Any time the bulk production demand will come, and we are hopeful. We are in the market, we are not new people. We are in the market for nearly 33 years. We know as and when enter into the expansion, what kind of expansion we require and what kind of things the company needed. We don't want any ideas from outside that what you are doing, what you are going to do with the deposits and all this. These are all kept for our safety. We want to be very strong in financial, solvent in the company. We want to manage the company in a better way that always keep ahead the financial wise, the company's performance as well as the quality. As earlier also we have mentioned many times that we are not selling the product. Buyers are preferring to buy the product. We make the quality to that extent that what the buyers request. So always we have an upper hand in selling the product, and we will continue to do that. And we give assurance to the shareholders. We are in the watchful eyes. We are doing everything possible to maximize the profit. So we will do everything. We have experience in 33 years. We have seen turbulent periods in the textile industry. 33 years we are making profit and without losing a single pie as bad debt. This is very important to know. Our sundry debtors is the lowest in the industry. We are selling the product on cash and our LLCs, which you have to be noted very carefully. So I request the shareholders, keep the faith in the company. We are capable. We will do everything. With these few words, I will conclude my speech.
Thank you. Now may I request Mrs. Vidya Jyotish to propose the vote of thanks. Members may note that the e-voting facility on the platform of Central Depository Services India Limited, CDSL, will remain open for the next 15 minutes to enable those shareholders who have not cast their vote and would like to cast their votes. The results will be declared after considering both remote e-voting and e-voting at this meeting within the prescribed time, and the consolidated scrutinizer's report will be placed on the company's website and on the website of CDSL, Central Depository Services India Limited. And the voting results will also be intimated to the stock exchange where the shares are listed. The resolutions are set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to the requisite majority. I wish to thank all the shareholders and the directors and the auditors who have joined this meeting through video conference. With this, the proceedings of the 35th AGM is concluded. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Karthik, for all your efforts.
Thank you, madam. Most welcome. And with the permission of chairperson and entire board members, like we will be ending the meeting. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. Wish you very good afternoon. Wish you a good year ahead. Thank you.
For Vijay Lakshmi.
Yeah, madam is there.
Everyone, sir.